Hello everybody, welcome to the Point Park Esports channel. Today we've got some Rocket League for you. My name, as always, is Ari Cass here with Amiibo. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun games for you today. Point Park Gold up first this time, and well, they're coming off the back of a win.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just kidding.
Oh wait, no.
It was close. It was almost a win. It felt like it.
All the weeks they're just kind of like smudging together for me. It was a really good game last week though. It was really close, and honestly, it was a tough match. It was a real nail biter.
Yeah, that one going to 5, I believe it did, and
yes.
OTs that were in there snuck in and just they saved it right towards the end. That was the Point Park Green team that ended up with the 0-second goal. So both Point Park teams feeling a little bit unfortunate towards last week, unfortunately. But we can go into this week looking a little bit brighter. Everybody, all of the Point Park teams, they have a win on the board now. That's spanning across all different games. Valorant, we got ours. Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, heading over to Rocket League. Hopefully they're the first to strike at that number 2 here against New Haven.
Oh, very exciting. But before we begin, let's read off the players that we'll be with tonight. Starting off with the gold team, which is a 2-time record-breaking team, 1-1 this season. We are beginning with Pittsburgh's 13 goals, 2 assists, and 9 saves. It's his rookie season. He is a 2-time Point Park record holder for goals in both matches and series, and he's a Grand Champ 1.
Yeah, I mean, we've got all solid players around here, and I think we're about to get right into the game. I mean, you feel the fist bumps, yeah.
Maybe we won't be reading them
I don't think we're gonna do too much waffling this time. Even though there is a delay on the stream, that just means that you guys, the viewers, unfortunately will not be able to see until that delay goes through for competitive integrity. But looks like we are going to get set shortly.
Yeah, in that case, I'll just kind of snap off the rest of them. We have Snoozin, 6 goals. Clash That Caleb with 4 goals. On the green team, we have Yuri, 33, with 4 goals. Safe Danger with 3 goals. And Nighthawk PPU with 3 goals. And also Collins 20022, who is a diamond and won't be here today. They're a sub.
So, I mean, not the full strength roster, if you want to call it, but maybe it's just a few different moving gears and parts here. We are just working on a few things on the technical side here before we get into the game. And as we get started here, right, it is going to be a fun one to say the least. Definitely these guys locked in already here. And honestly, I expect at least the series to go to 4 games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at them. They are prepared. I can't quite tell if they're playing yet. It kind of seems like they might be. Honestly, it really seems like they might be. So we might end up jumping in mid-game this time, but it's a little bit hard to tell. Regardless, I am sure that this is going to be a very fun game, an exciting match, and they all look incredibly prepared.
Yeah, as we head into this one, we're not going to get the mobile cam, the featured cam that everybody gets to know and love the players right at face-to-face, but we still get this beautiful view of everybody here, the teamwork.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, look at that. You said teamwork, and they just, that's amazing. Perfect. That's amazing. Absolutely, that's great.
Looks like we're having the timeout talk, if you will, the pep talk before everybody heads into the game. Everyone looking ready as they can be. Looks like I am hearing some comms, so I think they are in the game.
It seems like they're already in the game, so we're gonna probably jump in mid-game. Regardless, I am sure that they are doing. Oh, look at that! We are in. Oh, shoot! And Point Park Gold already has 3 goals. That is quite impressive already. We don't quite know who made those goals, but we can check at the end. We can call them off. It looks like they are currently just working on getting that ball back to New Haven's side. Looks like New Haven doesn't quite want to let Point Park keep that. Ooh, that was almost a goal. Just barely stopped by Clash That Caleb.
All right, going on through here, right? That 3-0 lead going into the final minute. This one a challenge here from LeBron's burner. Unfortunately, not a goal for them, but they are still continuing this push, still trying to get themselves on the board. It's just not enough. It's snoozing to grab that Point Park, their 4th.
It looks like 2 of those goals so far have been Snoozens. I didn't quite see who the rest of the goals have got. Oh, there we go. Xbergs has gotten 1 goal, Clash That Caleb 1 goal, and Snoozin 2 goals so far. So it seems like all 3 of our team members are holding up quite strong tonight. And so far, they're on a pretty good start.
Yeah, 4 goals. I mean, this is absolutely the start that you'd love to see going into a best-of-5 series. Looks really, really strong. And this game, too, I mean, I think we can start looking towards it. Only 45 seconds left. It's almost about time they grab their first win, that series lead, but still, time on the clock means the game is not over yet. New Haven still have a very good chance of coming back. And if we know anything about Point Park teams and their esports games, it's that game never over till it's over. Whether it's the Valorant team going 12 down 4 and then coming back.
And that's another goal to Xbergs. That is his 2nd goal tonight. That is pretty good. Just as you were saying that a comeback was possible, they brought it up to 5.
Maybe it's not possible.
Maybe it's not quite possible. We were talking about the 10-second rule last week, and I believe that rule still applies. Can't quite get 5 goals in, 18 seconds, but never say never.
Yeah, for 5 goals in 20 seconds would be rough, but I think 6 would be even harder, wouldn't you say?
Even harder.
Yeah, Xbergs doing very, very well here. I mean, everybody really just playing their part, the teamwork. It's beautiful. Even if that shot didn't go in, Snoozin still would have picked up their goal for themselves. I mean, this really is just a beautiful feat from Point Park Gold here. And we only hope they can continue it into that second game. One final attempt, maybe from New Haven here. LeBron's burner trying to field the ball down low. Nope, taken away by Xbergs, and bye-bye. That's game 1. Done, dusted, and over with.
Oh, for game 1. That is quite impressive. It is a bit unfortunate we didn't get to see those first 4 goals, see how that game started out, but we know those goals were made, and they were made quite well, I'm sure. We saw the team all fist bumping. I'm sure that was when they got that goal. We can definitely see their energy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we know that this team very much runs on vibes, right? Like, as much as we want to say, hey, they're doing well here, they're doing well there, look at the smiles, right? You see those smiles, you think, okay, they're going into game 2, they're feeling good. If those nerves start to increase, that's when the plays become a little bit shakier, right? Although our players, very experienced, may not have the experience of, say, your pro-level players or have the rank of your pro-level players to the point where things may or may not get to them here. We'll have to see, but game 1, a very convincing game, to say the least, and hopefully for them, they continue that positivity into the rest of the series.
Oh, absolutely. Such a strong start on Point Park's end already. I can see that tonight is already going to shape up for a pretty exciting game. I'm excited to see these next 2. Well, I'm not going to say 2 because I'm not. No premonition. These next couple games, however many there are, and let's see. Yeah, it looks like we are going into that next match already. It is on New Haven's side. Clash That Caleb trying to get that ball in the goal, but not quite. Snoozin going back for it. Still not quite there.
Passes galore, though, right? You're seeing that teamwork once again, although off the pitch, also on the pitch here, Snoozin, also known as Stars, just for the viewers that may or may not know. We'll leave it to Xbergs here, over to Caleb, who drops it down towards about midfield. Snoozin with a nice 50, but that one off the sidewall yet again. Caleb will find themselves with the ball, and, well, this ping-pong match, it continues, right? We saw in the first series that they played, and the second one as well, how they just kept on going back and forth with that possession. But as soon as they get it on their side, that's when the goals start to come through. And you may just see one here, Snoozin, not in the right spot, unfortunately.
Not quite. And New Haven is in a bit of a tough position. They do need to keep this up if they want to have a shot at beating Point Park tonight. They need to get the goals this game. I think we're going 5-0, 5 games tonight, right?
Well, it is a best of 5.
Best of 5, yes.
First to 3 goals is your, or not 3 goals, 3 games is your winner. But off your point, I think they're going to need more than just a shot going into this one. They're going to need a few more goals, to say the least, as well. Shot on net here, no goal.
Almost a shot.
Caleb, hold up, empty net, just not enough power.
Very close, though. LeBron just barely stopped that.
Exberg's here over in the corner. This one out
Trying
to the
to make
passing
another.
lane.
Ooh. Oh, and oh my goodness. Just
There it is.
There we go. And that goes to Snoozin. That was quite a few shots attempted, quite a few failed, and eventually Snoozin got that final goal.
Well, and that's where we talk about offensive pressure, right? You have the boost, you have those rotations unlock, and that means you're going to be able to throw shot after shot on net. Eventually, one of those players on the defense is either going to run out of boost, go to the wrong spot, or just be in an awkward position to where they cannot make the save. And, well, Point Park, they capitalize on it there. A 1-0 lead. A little bit fewer goals than their first game, but we'll still give it to them. They're still in the position they want to be. And as that time ticks down to nearly halfway through this game, you don't see that crazy lead, but you still see Point Park constantly with possession of this ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They do say that the third time's a charm. That was probably more like the fifth time, but regardless, that was quite good. It is on the Point Park side currently, but it doesn't look like Point Park wants to keep it on that side. They're sending it right back to New Haven, and that could be a shot. Oh, no.
Very close.
Jollification stops that.
You saw the waterfall down, actually, and tried to leave it for Caleb there, but unfortunately just didn't have the momentum, couldn't make the read in time. So here we go, a shot opportunity. Exberg is denied by LeBron's burner. Beautiful savior medal awarded to them for that one, but now taking it back down the other way, sets up their opponent and solo jack.
Very beautiful shot. That was some impressive work from LeBron's burner, just pushing that ball over, really setting it up for solo jack.
That is beautiful. I mean, not to, be super one-sided to Point Park, but that's exactly what you want to see from New Haven, right? That's how you respond. That's exactly how you get yourself back into this game. Sure, you were down 6-0 in the first game. It sucks. But now you go into game 2, and you even up the score. You work tough, and, well, that reward, it's going to pay off eventually. Now, you just got to hold strong, hold till that timer hits 0, and they are at least here. The defense holding strong as well, but Caleb trying to break through it. The shot off the left side, and yeah, looks like everybody's going to have to hit the reset button here.
Oh, it looks like that reset button was kind of hit, snoozing through that back to Point Park side. It looks like Exberg's trying to go for the shot, not quite. Oh, the ball is just sort of bouncing around at the moment.
Yeah, and as it gets into that corner, I kind of like to call it the Rocket League ball purgatory. Because it always stays in that corner, and nobody can really do anything with it over there until it gets out into that passing lane like you see it right there. So with those extra touches, with maybe an extra tank of boost or a nice 50, that pinch out, it's going to allow you to get these shots on net and those scores to start a change in. Now, it looks like we are in a corner once again, but I have a feeling this one's going to escape rather quickly as Snoozin has a full tank of boost, and there's only 1 minute left on the clock, meaning somebody's got to make a play here to get ourselves at least no OT or 2 OT.
Yeah, it looks like time is ticking down, and we are still at that 1-1 tie. We may be seeing OT in this game. I mean, they do still have 39 seconds. That's more than enough time to make a shot, but we have seen that New Haven's not the best at making shots under small amounts of time left. And we haven't quite seen... That was almost a shot. Oh my, that was very close.
Yeah, the defense is for Point Park being tested here, and they will hold strong at least for the moment. Now just 15 seconds on the clock. Somebody, if you want to make a play, that time is now. Exberg shoots under! It's a shot that the defender had no clue where it was placed, and it sneaks right under. Perfect placement.
Incredible.
Just nothing you can do.
Yeah. Talk about last-second shots with 11 seconds left. Can New Haven use that 10-second rule and get that shot, bringing us into overtime?
Perchance. Maybe.
Perchance.
Yes,
Perchance
I mean,
not.
oh my.
Definitely not.
I don't think so. It's possible.
3 seconds left, 2 shots. Hey, I mean...
Yeah, Caleb here just striking this one. I mean, beautiful setup from Snoozin, right? Reading the ball off the ceiling, going for that assist, and it's perfect. Bing, bang, boom, and it's right on in. 3-1 the score, and 3 seconds on the clock. Make that 2, 1, and 0. The game, although I was going to say the ball was up, is still over for sure. That score not changing. 3-1 Point Park, and they're going to take that second game, taking the series lead to 2-0.
Ooh, that was a nice game, and we got to see the full game that time around. And every shot, all of those shots were quite well placed. I can't quite say which of the shots might have been the best, but I did quite like the New Haven shot. That was some incredible teamwork on their end.
Well, that goes to essentially, I mean, the concept of quality versus quantity, right?
Yeah.
You throw enough balls at the net, surely one goes in, which appears to be Point Park's strategy. And
Yeah.
while it is good, sometimes it can be the other way, right? The quality. New Haven didn't really have too many threatening shots, but the one they did have, it went right in.
Yeah, and that was a clip. I mean, they could have clipped that. That would have been a great clip.
Yeah, so, I mean, this game, although it says 2-0, definitely trending in a way that's going to benefit New Haven, right? It was 6-0, then it was, 2-1, 3-1 towards those final seconds. Now, if they can kind of copy and paste this trend into this third game, we may see OT, we may even see a New Haven win. Who's to say?
Oh, yeah, they are digging down on how far behind they are. And, I mean, it is quite the trend. If they keep it up, they may just get this game. But perhaps it's not a trend they intended, and they may not keep it up. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, you got to keep that momentum throughout all 5 minutes of the game and across all 3 games, possibly 5. Very tall task, especially when a team like Point Park Gold is in your face constantly. Demos coming out here, but it looks like Exbergs will be the one with the ball and the boost here in the corner. 50 ends up in their own net.
The jollification. Shoot, I like that name also. That's so fun to say.
Did you see that angle?
That was...
This is a crazy 50.
Look at that.
That's such a great dunk from New Haven.
That was straight from the wall. That is insane.
I mean, we've seen some tough angles, but that one, just a beautiful dunk there. And I know, we're not playing hoops mode, we're not playing basketball. This is soccer, this is Rocket League, and boy, was that a crazy feat. This one, unfortunately, not finding the back of the net for Point Park, but still the chances there, and New Haven, looks like that trend's helping them out a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, talk about quality versus quantity. Those are 2 very quality goals. Very clip-worthy. Ooh, that was in a pretty good position for a shot, but there was nobody quite there to make it.
Ooh, maybe this time. Bar down!
No! Oh! That
in.
was pretty. Oh, look at those tricks. Showing off. Snoozing just showing off.
I mean, once again, the placement we see. And although it's not necessarily quality versus quantity this time, it certainly is just that good old raw mechanics, right?
Oh,
You can land the shot. If nobody's there, well, you've got yourself one beautiful goal. Now, this game tied up 1-1. Time not about halfway yet, so we do have anybody to take this lead and for themselves. But it's going to be tough, right? Both teams have responded in this game, and nobody certainly wants to give up this series.
Yeah, and we did see a tie like this last game, and Point Park ended up taking it. But we are talking about how they might be on a bit of a track. Perhaps, just perhaps, New Haven might take it this game.
Well, you saw a nice shot there, passing lane out to Caleb. Just couldn't land the shot. It was so close, but there's so many cars in the way there. Really, really tough shot. Not going to blame Caleb there. That's a very tough angle to make, and no surprise. Well, I don't want to say no surprise, but it's understandable that he maybe didn't land that one on target. Of course, going to make up for that with the clear here, and actually just going to push the ball all the way downfield, grab the boost for themselves, and leave it for a teammate. Wait, this could actually be doable, though, for LeBron's burner, centering this one out, going for the dunk play themselves.
No, Exbergs with that very nice stop, and Snoozin coming back with another stop.
Yeah, that score tied up at 1 apiece halfway through the game now, and Point Park being on the defenses here a lot. Definitely a strategy change from New Haven, but it's working out for them, right?
Yeah.
They're just applying that pressure. Surely something will break through those defenses, those rotations, but demos galore. It looks like jollification shot a little bit too far to the right, which was great. It was a great chance for them because they had gotten the bump off. That was an open net.
Yeah, it's like you said, if you make shot after shot after shot, eventually something's got to be a goal, something's got to give, but none of them have given quite yet. Not yet.
Exbergs here, the one to bounce this one off the backboard, trying to get it to that passing lane, but into the corner we go again, over to Snoozin. Looking for maybe an aerial play. Can't quite find the air dribble. Swing and a miss there, though, and hold up. This ball's just flown on in. We saw swing whiff number 1, whiff number 2, but somehow it finds its way in.
Interesting shot. Look at that.
Boing. Boing, boing. There we go.
Flash that, Caleb just giving it the little nudge it needed to be a goal.
Yeah, Point Park trying to pick up where they left off in terms of those streaks. And, well, it was, a little bit quieter in game number 2 compared to game number 1. Seems like they're trying to copy and paste at least game 2 to game 3. As we find ourselves now with Point Park up 2-1, just about a minute to go. Exberg's out to the passing lane. Caleb, unfortunately, though, meets a 50 in their favor, at least of the defense. New Haven will come on back here and, well, try and establish an offensive presence for themselves.
Yeah, it's not quite on the offensive quite yet, but it looks like they are really working. Oh, that was a bit of a... Oh, look at that! That was a good goal for Exbergs. That was an interesting angle, too.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue there. I mean, you saw Jollification was trying to go for at least a challenge to that ball, trying to push it downfield more, but actually I think they ran out of boost and maybe whiffed it there, and that allows for Caleb to just shoot the ball on downfield. They're not quite aware the net's empty because you wouldn't expect that player to miss there, so they shoot the ball on down, and Exbergs is there to just clean it on up. Greatly played by Point Park. And now, I mean, with that time ticking on down, New Haven start to get into that danger zone, but they respond right on back.
Right away. Solo Jack RL with that goal. I believe that's the first goal we've seen from them tonight. I'm pretty darn sure.
Yeah, we had one more.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they had one at least.
Well, no, not from New Haven, from that specific player.
Yeah, no, Solo Jack.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's okay. You can fact check us on the socials on YouTube when these clips get posted. So how about that? Follow our socials.
Yeah. Follow our socials, and you can figure out which one of us is wrong. It's probably me. I'm very tired.
But all these players cannot be tired, right? There's still 30 seconds left. And as much as this is potentially a 3-0 sweep, it certainly does not feel like it. They'd love to take it home, Point Park, in that 3-0 fashion, but New Haven trying to desperately do anything they can to prevent that. 15 seconds on the clock. Solo Jack looking for the offensive attack, but this one's not back. Instead, it'll be their defense is tested once again. Can you get it offensively? Solo Jack, hold up, empty net. This could be it.
And that is a tie from Solo Jack. That is definitely going to take us into overtime. What a play.
Ooh. That's definitely a misplay from Point Park. They're definitely trying to just apply that offensive pressure, kill the time, and, well, they overextended a little bit too far. They rotated too far on those, and, well, that's what happens. You leave an empty net, and you find yourselves in OT here. This would be detrimental to get reverse sweeps, but it's a very tall task. Point Park, they still have to keep their mental straight, and maybe they just went off the kickoff here.
That would have been quite an interesting overtime. We have... Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Okay, 9 seconds overtime. I mean, we've seen kickoff overtimes from Point Park already this season. This season. Yeah, that's the word.
But they were on the other side of it.
Yeah, they were.
They ended up losing some of those overtimes, and now they at least come out here with the series win. Good for them. I mean, 3-0 sweep. That's exactly what you could hope for, and they've got to say that, I mean, this is a massive improvement coming up from that second week into this third one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are just showing that they are practicing, and that practice is paying off.
Yeah, I mean, practice, it doesn't make perfect necessarily.
Practice makes perfect,
guys. It does, but it makes progress.
It makes, practice makes progress, my goodness.
And, well, they've certainly made progress today. They found themselves not the cleanest of series, but certainly one where they were the dominating force. And with that being said, Point Park Gold is going to take the victory. Up next, we have Point Park Green. Unfortunately, that's going to happen right after the break, so don't go too far. We'll be right back. We'll see you then. And we're here with the Point Park channel. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our game. Point Park Green, this time taking on Northwestern Mutual. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but it happens.
Anyways.
It happens. What are you going to do? But yeah, we're hoping for the same result here for Point Park Green as Point Park Gold. Not to be biased, but this is the Point Park stream, so it is going to happen to be that way. Of course, that score, it may say one thing up at the top. It's okay. We just forgot to click the reset button on the series score. It's all good. We'll get that fixed for you after this game is over. But 5 fresh minutes on the clock. The teams up there are true. And now we just hope for the results to come through.
The teams up there are, in fact, true. It looks like we are starting out pretty even on both ends. I believe we've won against Northwest Missouri. Maybe not the Rocket League team. It might have been the league team. I very vaguely remember the name. Very, very vaguely. But we have seen them play before. Not this team, but the school in general. And they are quite good. This might be a tough match for Point Park if the Rocket League team is on the same level.
Well, not only that, but they got to be just on a level with themselves and the team, like feeling the cohesion going, because last time we saw them do pretty well, but there were some mechanical issues. Now looks like Safe gonna be the one to defensively show their mechanics right now. A great job from them, but still that time it's starting to tick. Nice little shot there from Yuri, but still no goals in sight just quite yet. Safe once again on that 3rd position role. Looks like they want to take it forward. A little bit of demo action going on towards the net, but hold up, is this just in their net?
And that
what?
Is an interesting goal.
Was that an own goal?
I don't...
Yeah, yes it was.
Yeah, it kind of... yeah, that was definitely an own goal. I mean, they tried to stop it. But...
And for those of you that play Rocket League, that's when you pop out the quick chat called Calculated, and you go next. Of course, if you're the other team and you want to be toxic, you'd start spamming nice shot. But we're going to just, we're going to move on from that. We're not going to be too toxic here. We're just going to congratulate Point Park on gaining the lead and move on from that. Now, hopefully for them, they can hold on to it. But if anybody knows anything about Point Park Esports, it's that no lead is safe. 3 minutes on the clock here, and, well, looks like we're just getting started in this series.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's... Oh, shoot, never mind. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not quite a lead because Point Park hadn't made the goal, but they made the goal for that time. That's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, nice little shot placement, beats the opponent there. A little bit more boost in the tank, or just got to the ball quicker. Not sure which, but either way, they still come out on top there. Point Park Green trying to follow in the footsteps of the main team, I guess we'll say. Point Park Gold. Yeah, I mean 6-0 is the score to beat if you want to compare and contrast that. But Point Park Green still looking very, very solid, just looking to take the game win, if not that magical record. Yuri with a nice 50 here.
That they might be going for that 6-0. Will they overcome it? That would be something.
Well, they're on pace.
Yeah, they're definitely on pace. We didn't quite see the pace for the first game because of the difficulties, but we did see the pace this one, and it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, 3 minutes on the clock. I mean, at this rate, you're looking at about 8 goals, 7 goals in a game. That'd be a great start to their series, not only just for this one particular game, but to take that momentum, continue it on through the next few games. Safe looks like was going for that offensive attack, but hold up, might just end up back in their own net.
Goal.
Nope.
Oh, not quite. Nighthawk gets it out of there.
It's a good thing we got 3 players on the team, huh?
Yeah. It's almost like the game was built for 3 players.
Well, ironically, there are modes where you can play 2 players and 1 player, but I mean, this is the way that we choose to compete, and that just means they have to play the certain way. They're training themselves to go for this 3v3 battle, and, well, at least for the first part of this game, they've worked so far, and they've found success. But now they're going to have to continue into the second part of this game and the rest of this series. Safe, it looks like, going to be on that defense once again, but Yuri is now left with the ball in the corner that we know and love.
Yeah, Northwest attempting some pretty far-off shots and not quite getting any of them. It looks like Point Park is really on their save game today, which is definitely good for our team. I mean, they are killing it so far.
Yeah, I mean, you look forward and you kind of imagine that these teams, they have to take that balance of offense and defense, and now that the offense from Point Park has struck 3 goals, now they can play from ahead. Now they don't have to fully put that gas down, and they can instead just relax a little bit, just make sure that they're saving their energy, saving their fuel for the next few games. Of course, more goals would be nice, but you can't waste them all in one game, right? You got to save them for the rest of the series. And now as that clock ticks down to just about 1 minute, Northwest Missouri, they'd like to respond now, and it's got to come quick. Otherwise, I feel like that momentum may just be too far gone.
Yeah, 1 minute remaining. That is rough with 3 goals they need to get.
That was a beautiful save, by the way.
That was quite a good save, yes.
I mean, that's just Point Park for you. Always pulling through when it matters. And, well, at least in this first game, they've got themselves a very, very handy lead. Nighthawk, the one, take this one upfield, leaves this one off the corner. Actually met by your Turtles, though. And I didn't know I had any Turtles, but maybe Point Park didn't either, as they tried to take the ball away from them. Nighthawk, once again, pushing the ball forward, trying to get it to this passing lane, but no, met in the corner by a few of those Northwest Missouri players. The shot, it's half in, half out.
Very close. That is unfortunate. That would have been such a great goal, but not quite. Northwest really keeping that ball out of there.
And I like that save just towards the final seconds. I feel like if you concede that goal, you give your opponents a little bit of hope going into the next game. But now, with that 3-0 scoreline and zeros on the clock, this may just be a full shutout in game number 1 if the ball does indeed drop, and it will. Point Park Green to take game 1 in shutout fashion, the same as Point Park Gold.
Oh, yeah. It always kind of feels like that 0 seconds takes a lot longer than 1 second.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my sense of time is off. I'm not too sure.
I know that any team, any game, really, like, you'll hit the 0 seconds, but there's always those buzzer beater shots, you know, the hook shot going up in the basketball, land down, and you're like, is it going to go in? I don't know. And we see that all the time in Rocket League, especially in that higher level of play. You'll have the players be able to keep that ball up using the boost panels and the side walls for their entertainment. But yeah, a great game 1 for Point Park here in Northwest. I mean, they did pull out a few moves. They were good, but just not enough here. I do like the foundations, but they're going to need to change something, I think.
Yeah, they're going to need to switch up their strategy just a little bit, just to get those extra goals. It seemed like they were trying to go for the defense, and it wasn't quite working, and Point Park was all offense.
Yeah, Point Park Green here, magically having 4 games to 0, but we'll just consider it a fun little 2v0 series in terms of now we have 4 games for Point Park on the day versus 0 to the visitors. Either way, it still works. You show how many games Point Park has won on the day. And for Yuri, well, they're trying to add to that total. A great save, though, by Shadows. Absolutely what Northwest Missouri needed, and hopefully they can turn it back around to the offense now.
Yeah, hopefully they can go on that offense. Like I said, they are on that defense right now. They have quite a few good saves, but not as many good goals. Not any good goals so far. They really need to switch that up.
Yeah, I mean, as much as they need to adapt, right? There are a fresh set of zeros on the clock, so you don't need to worry too bad about playing from behind. But, you know, you still haven't scored a goal in the series. And what that means is that, well, you don't have what it takes to break through the defenses. You don't know what works yet, and that means you can't replicate it. You don't have a goal that you're working towards. You may have a plan, but you don't even know if that plan works yet. So for Northwest Missouri, I think they just got to keep trying some things, whether it's about going for what they think will work or just trying new and different things until one eventually does work. Northwest Missouri still very much in this, especially now that they've managed the first goal.
With your Turtles. Not my Turtles, yours. But either way, they got that score.
Absolutely, they did. Northwest Missouri bouncing back here in game number 2. What a great fashion for them to do it in, especially after getting shut out in the first game. They're able to walk back in this time and really take it by the reins, choose to take the series how they want it to, and, well, now they find themselves in a lead, although not in the series, at least in the game.
Yeah, they're really showing that they can, in fact, get those goals, and if they can keep this momentum up, they may just be able to pull it off. Who knows, though? It is a tough match for both teams. I'm sure of that already. It looks like right now the ball is on Point Park side. They're working on getting that out of there. Ooh, a demo. Oh, and that was an attempted goal. Not quite, though. Nighthawk trying to go for the ball again. Instead of Yuri gets it. But Crispy stops that just barely. They're keeping it over on Northwest Missouri's side. And the ball just keeps being juggled between the two teams. It seems like neither team quite is ready to give in.
Yeah, Point Park here. Not finding a goal for themselves just quite yet. Nighthawk with a shot, but just not in the right direction. Safe once again. That third position player, old reliable, will choose to keep on keeping this ball in the offensive zone. Looks like it is going to get pushed on out, but Northwest Missouri at least holding strong, right? They have momentum. They're holding it in their favor. And, well, yes, they're only up by 1 goal. Not necessarily a safe lead. They are indeed still finding themselves looking to tie this one up at one apiece, but
and that's a tie.
You gotta keep on the defense.
Yeah, that is Yuri 33 with a tie-breaking score. Well, not tie-breaking, that tying score. That was pretty straight on. Not a crazy angle, but still a pretty good goal.
Yeah, Point Park tying this game up, making themselves feel a little bit better, and we know that just like Point Park Gold, they are an emotion-based team. They definitely love to play off of that momentum, and that first goal proves to them that they bounce back into this game, that they are able to train a few goals together and make that magical streak of victories come to life. Here, a demo out by Safe, but it's just the reset button hit once again, just as all series should very well have. It looks like Point Park will take that breather, take that fresh air, and realize, okay, how do we get the attack going? How do we put that second on the board?
Yeah, they have really got to set up a bit of a strategy to get that. Oh, no, not quite. That could have been a pretty good goal, but just barely went over. They have got to set up that strategy and get that second goal in there if they don't want this to go over to OT.
You saw a solid chance here or there, but just the shot's not quite on target. And here even, right, the placement of that shot should have been a 50 in the first place, but the fact that the shot even got off was a very beneficial factor for Point Park. However, let's see if they can get back here. The demo coming through onto Nighthawk. Not going to find the value there if you're not on the field, so Safe will be the one to take it all the way on down. Trying to beat one, does dunk it over them, but now has to get it out to that passing lane, and it is tough to do so. Yuri going for the aerial, calling for it, leaving Nighthawk down below, waiting for that ball to come into their clutches. Looks like it's not going to quite yet, and oh boy, a scary scenario that was, but now it's turned back the other way. Almost a shot on net from all the way across.
Quite crazy.
Almost.
Not quite there though. No, yeah, that would have been a pretty good clip. Unfortunately.
Slow roller all the way across. Always would be nice, but you got to just control the game yourselves. Point Park very much in contention now. It feels like they've woken up here in this game number 2. Hopefully they can hold on, at least get this game to OT, because it does feel a bit rocky here or there. Yuri pops this one over, and the flick is in. 2 seconds left on the clock, and they may just be on the way to their game number 2.
Maybe OT. If Northwest can make this 2-second goal, maybe OT.
Wow.
I don't wanna jinx anybody though.
Well, no, we gotta go to game 3, and that's where the OT comes through. Because we saw it last series, it's gotta follow suit, right? Point Park, they do manage this second game win.
2 seconds.
It was, but quicker than your 0 seconds, would you say?
Yeah, quicker than my 0 seconds. That's weird. I don't know about that.
Well, that's kickoffs for you. They go in a blur. That 10 seconds really feels like just 2.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes you find yourself getting a goal here or there, a win here or there, and well, Point Park, they find themselves now with 2 games on the series, just 1 more, and they'll find themselves the series win, matching the Point Park Gold team as well. Should be a solid game, but we saw some life from Northwestern Missouri for sure.
I mean, matching Point Park Gold, bunch of copycats they are, but that would be quite a pair of games.
Yeah, I mean, you go into this next game, you just have to take that kind of mental timeout, right? You think, okay, we've got about 90 seconds. Let's refresh the mental, refresh the momentum, take a lap, use the bathroom. I don't know if you can take that in 90 seconds, but
I don't believe so.
Props to you, I guess. And you go back in here, you say, okay, they beat us 2 games. Yeah, it sucks. Now let's move on to game 3, right?
Yeah,
we have literally nothing to lose. Other than the series.
Other than the series.
You're not blowing a lead, right? So there's no tension on you. You can literally just come back in, fresh mind, new hands, and just go into this game hoping for the best.
Absolutely ready to go. And I'm just noticing that the green in Northwest Missouri and Point Park seems to match. I might be colorblind, but maybe that's a good sign for something. For one of us, it's a good sign.
Maybe that's a sign that they're going to tie up the series if their greens are tied up.
Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty exciting if it was a tie.
That would be a superstition to say the least now here. I mean, Northwestern Missouri, I guess they'll look for anything that they can get, right? Especially only getting that 1 goal in the first 2 games combined, looking for a few more to get themselves on top into the next game and elongating the series even more. Point Park Green, though, constantly applying that pressure and safe over by the sidewall right now, hoping to get the ball out of the net, but it's just pinched right in.
Oh, my goodness. That goal was completely open. Goes straight in there from Shadow.
Oof, that's just tough.
Yeah, not a single player over there.
Well, it's just, you hope that 50 goes your way, but instead it gets pinched right back in your net. Like, you really can't react if you're any other player on the team.
Yeah.
It's all unsafe there, and you can't exactly calculate that ball is going to somehow end up in your net.
Oh, that was almost a goal. Just barely saved by Nighthawk.
Yeah, definitely those defenses being tested this game and the previous. I mean, they've got to play all parts of the Rocket League. The offense, the defense, the midfield, the sky field, anything. And, well, they've managed to pick themselves a goal this time.
Yeah, that was an interesting goal, too. A bit of a bouncer there.
Yeah, it looks like we have another boing, boing, boing moment.
Yeah.
But hey, Point Park Green tying this game up here. And Northwestern Missouri, they worked so hard for that goal to try and take their first lead of the series. Maybe their second. I might be forgetting that one. But either way, it's now gone.
Yeah.
And they have to work for it back yet again. So much tougher to come back the second time than the first.
Oof, yeah, but we were just talking about ties. I blame the green. Me personally, I blame the green.
So I can blame you if they lose?
I mean, hey, I'm not the green. I'm just the caster.
I don't know, you're wearing a green shirt to me. Either way, Point Park looking to make the best of this scenario, right? They're not necessarily trying to burn this clock down, but I do think that an overtime would favor them, considering they do have that 2-goal lead. The nerves, I think, would be a little bit too high for Northwest Missouri, but you can't count them out even in that OT scenario. They'd like to just score right now, and hopefully for them they will. This one just knocked away. The good defenses yet again being a thorn in their side.
Oh, yeah, and on top of that, an overtime would be pretty fun for us. But we may be going into an overtime, really. It looks like the clock is ticking down, and neither team is giving in. They're keeping that momentum up.
Okay. It was like, okay, this ball's going in.
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that one. That was interesting.
I mean, this is a beautiful shot. Crispy stays with the ball, but it's just not even needed. Just the placement's right there.
Yeah.
Would have been savable if a Point Park member was in the net. But, I mean, just how do you read that?
Yeah.
How do you read it's going to bounce off the top right corner, down, and hit the top left corner, and then go in? I mean, it's just a lot there. And Point Park Green, you can't blame them, but you just have to rely on them to bounce back.
Yeah, to bounce back. I see what you did there.
Okay.
Yeah, it really looks like a lot of these goals so far are just the physics of the game, showing off that ball bouncing physics.
What do you want me to say? They're going to need to flip their mental?
I didn't get that one.
With a flip reset and the flip the cars? Okay. Anyway. Point Park Green, I mean, they're down 1. This is not unfamiliar territory, right?
Yeah,
They've been down in series before. They have come back, and they've also let it slip, right? So we really don't know what this result actually is going to be. All we can hope is that they play their best game. And for Northwest Missouri, I mean, they're piling on this pressure. They're going for the demos. You're removing the players from the field, and that means less can save your shots. Unfortunately for them, this one is saved. Yuri, unfortunately, will not find the aerial here to make that 50, but Safe still sticking with the ball, leaves it for Nighthawk, and now we find ourselves in the corner yet again.
Yeah.
Although offensive pressure, Safe with a shot. It's in.
Talk about get out of the corner. That is a tie. That is quite interesting. That was a pretty good shot, too. Good setup. Oof.
And that's where you see the beauty of not getting the ball stuck in the corner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You find that passing lane, you get it out to somebody, And, well, they're going to say, okay, well, I can get a free shot on that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Even if there's defenders on the way, at least there's a chance I make the shot, as opposed to hitting some miraculous angle from Narnia. So this is a pretty good shot there for Point Park Green, a good sequence, but now they have to hold on to it as this one almost ends up in their net. Definitely should have there. But Northwestern Missouri, a little bit of a scrape on the elbow as they are now forced to go on back yet again.
Yeah, this is really putting the pressure on both teams. Northwest has to get this to keep the game going. Point Park Green has to get this to get 3-0. Both teams are really putting their all into this.
Looks like they're setting up passing play once again. You can see kind of Safe being in that low boost position over towards the right side, was trying to get it over to Yuri, just unfortunately didn't get the best of touches, so that'll end up being a bit of a reset moment, just trying to get those rotations set to where they need to be. Now Yuri with one off the top of the backboard, but Nighthawk coming on in, that third person, just can't quite find the shot. The ball not as free as they hoped it would be, so into the other zone we go. 30 seconds on the clock in Northwest Missouri. They kind of just find the shots. It's not that they're really creating opportunities like Point Park are, but that's fine, right? As long as you can capitalize on your opponent's mistakes, you will end up winning. The only problem is you have to be consistent, right? It's not going to be every day they make mistakes, and with that time ticking down, it's even less of a chance that they make one, but still very doable. Yuri off the backboard. This could be safe here. No. Instead, all the way back down, and it looks like Nighthawk's just going to try and clear it, try and get it out to that midfield before a shot can make its way towards the net.
Taking us into OT.
Looks like it is going to fall. Yep, OT in game number 3. You seen this one before? Very, very interesting. And
interesting.
it's almost like Point Park won the last overtime that happened, at least in game 3 today. I know that's a lot of parameters, but still, that is hope for them. They have to be feeling good. Demo is coming out.
I did say copycats. I mean...
This is true. I mean, they will take a free win. Well, not a free win, but...
not a free win.
Definitely taking a copy and paste win, if you will, from the opponents and from Point Park.
That was just a weird angle.
Yeah, shots going a little bit awry here, but hold up. Yuri may be speedy enough. Nope. Playing it safe, choosing to go back because you don't want to give up that goal. That goal could mean the entire series. Maybe go to game 4 and game 5, but who's to say? Nighthawk leaves this one for Safe. This one, it's a save made by Nighthawk.
No.
So unfortunate.
That is rough for Nighthawk.
I mean, you just can't control it, though. That's just wrong place, wrong time. All you got to hope is that you bounce back in. It sucks, yeah. You might feel a little bit worse in the mental, but just come on back, salvages this goal, but that is more of an opportunity now for Northwest to come back in the series. If they can escape this game, they very well could have the momentum to go into game 4, into game 5 with, honestly, any sort of attacking prowess.
Yeah, I mean, it is really anybody's, well, not really anybody's game. It is possibly Point Park's game, but with the way these two teams are playing, it is anybody's game right now, and it is on Point Park's side, so... It's a little bit of a rough overtime. We are almost 2 minutes into this overtime.
Long clear. Could make its way in now. Instead, yeah, I mean, you flip a coin, either team could win here, but it does feel like it's Point Park's game to lose.
Yeah.
Because they are up that 2-0 lead. They are making mistakes that could have given them the game. So anywhere that the series goes beyond game 3, it's going to feel rough. And there's the OT goal.
There's the rough one. That is tough.
7-minute game.
That's crazy.
Unfortunate, but you're gonna have to bounce back. You can't let it get to you.
Yeah, I mean they almost had that Point Park gold momentum, but Northwestern with just that last second goal. That is, well, not only was last second, it was overtime, but you know,
it's so nice that Point Park gave us more Rocket League to watch today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm so happy that they can make it a little bit closer for the content.
Yeah.
Make it a nail-biter. Prove to us that they have what it takes to win those nail-biting situations. I mean, thanks so much. And for Northwest Missouri, thank you as well. You've just put on a show for us. You've proved that you have what it takes to take this team to the next level and force them to play the best Rocket League they can. I'm not complaining.
Oh, absolutely. And the more Rocket League we play, the more we get to drink Red Bull. So, I mean, sponsored by Red Bull, go Red Bull.
I mean, do you think wings would help you in Rocket League, or do you think that'd make it more complicated?
I mean, sometimes it feels like the cars do have wings, even if they're not.
You got the boost, but Yeah, I don't know. The
I don't
boost
know
makes
about
it
that.
tough for me. I mean, I can barely play regular soccer. I don't know about with cars, let alone
Yeah.
with cars, boost, wings,
Yeah,
all
give it
that
a bit of
stuff.
like an Icarus Rocket League. I don't know about that. That'd be a bit interesting.
Flew too close to the post.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Red Bull gives our players wings. Hopefully not our cars.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can maybe pull this one through after dropping game number 3. I think the perfect way to bounce back would be to grab the first goal for themselves, but Northwest Missouri, right, you talk about keeping it in there till the very last second. They very well did. They played to OT, they got it to OT, and they bounced on back. They grabbed a game for themselves. This lead, very much not safe, not comfy. As much as you want to say, oh, we're up a game, we can make mistakes if we want to. Well, you could, but you could also just lose the series entirely, and that wouldn't be good for either team. Northwest Missouri, though, piling on that offense here, and looks like Turtles will be the one to watch it whiz by them next.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of pressure is on Point Park right now because this game would be theirs if they got this one. But if not, they will be taking it to 5 games, and that would be pretty rough.
Good save there. I mean, the demos, we're seeing a little bit of a playstyle adaptation from Northwest Missouri. They're choosing to go a little bit more physical, make sure to remove those defenses from the picture, and, well, remove those rotations. Because Point Park, I'm not going to lie, they are panicking when they're down a few players. They overcommit a little bit, and they're not quite sure what they want to do with the ball. So, well played to Northwest Missouri, but hold up.
That's a completely open goal.
Can they let
No!
it go? No!
That was so open. That's painful.
Hey, you know what? It's tactical.
It's tactical.
If you can hear me out there, which you can't, because that would break the competitive integrity. But if you could hear me out there, hey, go next. You can do it again. Just bounce back. It's gonna hurt. Yeah. But you got 3 minutes left. You're not down. That wasn't RLCS Grand Finals of in Timbuktu. You know, you're gonna be okay.
Very specific. Yeah. I mean, they can't quite hear us, but we can always wish that they can just mentally sync up with us. They are doing fine. They can keep this up. You can do it.
Hey, we gotta put the positive vibes out in the universe.
Yeah, into the universe, and maybe it'll go back to Point Park, but maybe it'll go to Northwest Missouri.
And that's okay.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll take a game 5.
Yeah, I mean, they're the same green as us. Hey,
Yeah, I mean, it's the grass is
green.
about as green on the other side.
Yeah, about as green. Just, maybe a shade off. I don't know.
Maybe a shade off. Either way, still 2 very, very solid shades of green and 2 very solid teams playing for us in Rocket League. Looks like Northwest Missouri are trying to get themselves back on that offense, but Point Park don't like that because every time they do, people get removed from the pitch.
Yeah.
And that means those cars get back to the mechanic shop, and it can be a little expensive at that point. So they like to take this and make sure their insurance doesn't go too high through the roof.
Yeah. I mean, it is. They really have to hold up right now. Ooh. Yeah.
That's tough.
They can't quite hold up.
Yeah, you can see this positioning here. It's actually pretty good from Collins, right? You make the right turn, but it's just...
Ooh, just barely.
The shot's off the post, and that makes it actually much, much tougher for the player to save, because now you can't go far, and you can't flip behind you. That's the toughest thing. The toughest thing in the game is to slow down.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about it's just the physics of the game. The physics of the game give a lot of these shots, and there's nothing you can really do about the physics of the game.
Well, you can't. It's called going into a custom game and taking out your anger on boomer mode, which, for those of you who know, it's just a bunch of boost, and the ball is very, very low gravity.
I mean, yeah, you could always do that. Maybe Point Park can do that after this, depending on whether or not they win or lose. I mean, even if they... Whoa! Oh. Even if they win, they might still want to take out that anger after a few of these goals.
Yeah, I feel like that MVP, the most valuable post, keeps making its appearance. Gosh, I mean, everybody keeps hitting that today. Feels very, very unfortunate for them, but, you know, you got 1 more minute to get yourselves back in here. I think a shutout would honestly be the worst thing that could happen. I'd rather them lose this game 2-1 than 2-0, and, well, that may be the case. We'll have to see Northwestern Missouri continuing their upward trend.
Yeah, for Point Park, it just seems like it is disappointment after disappointment this game. And last game, really. Oh, they really have to make this comeback At this point, neither team is really the underdog. It's... Oh.
Oh. Okay.
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 Yeah, neither team is really the underdog. As you can see, Point Park definitely isn't.
Well, also, I just noticed, by the way, I don't know how I didn't, but Collins has subbed in for Safe.
Oh, yes, he came in earlier. He's like, I'm here, and they're like, you're here. And so he subbed in.
So there's a little bit of a player change there. So there you go. Maybe it's the team chem that is slowing them down. Who knows? But Point Park Green, I mean, they have one goal on the board. At least it's not that shutout that we were talking about. Maybe they do have enough in the tank to get back into this game, to get going towards that series win. The shot is so nice, but unfortunately too many defenders, and it's going to go back the other way. Shadows taking advantage. It's 3-1 Northwest Missouri.
Yeah, that is rough for Point Park. I mean, at this point, there's not much they can do. They've got
Kickoff goals.
Yeah, kickoff goals. They could get kickoff goals. That 10-second rule does still apply. It would really be a comeback at this point for Point Park.
Yeah, and that would feel really, really good. Not only, do you forget about that third game if you come back from this one, but
yeah,
you also take that into next week saying, hey, we can do this. We can come back from these deficits. Just unfortunately, Yuri can't quite get the touch. Hold up. Hold up.
My
Half in, half out again.
Whoa.
Right to Collins off the top left corner.
Oh, gosh. That would have been an interesting self-goal. That's what that looked like it was going to be.
And that would have been essentially the game, too. The chances for Point Park to come back into this one now completely diminished as that's it. That's timer. That's done. It's going to game 5.
Ooh, we are going into game 5. Northwest Mitt did a pretty good job. I mean, I have to admit that.
Well, it sucks. It does. Yeah. You lose that first game, and all of a sudden, now it's, wait, can they actually pull the reverse sweep on us? Surely not, right? But honestly, you've gone this far. You've taken it 2 games. I wouldn't put it past them to sneak one more by.
Yeah.
I'm worried if I'm Point Park.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about the green. Maybe I jinxed us just a little bit, but hopefully not. I mean, Point Park still has this last game to come out on top.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
They're also going to need to play from quite literally on top. I think their aerial game is a little bit better than their opponents. That's where they get the control. And when you see that ball start to bounce around the corners and in between cars, that's when the chaos happens. That's where the demos come through. And that's where you see Northwestern Missouri sneak a few goals by.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty sneaky. A lot of those goals they weren't really setups. They were, like you were saying, they were just circumstance. And bad circumstance is bad circumstance.
Can lead to a loss, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Either way, we'll see what happens here. This is a Rocket League bug. This is not an us bug. But that does happen. So
everyone is numbers.
If you do want to follow along, you can see the player in the bottom left hand of the corner. That is going to be, well, now never mind. That's just disappeared from me. Okay, taking it on away.
It's a mystery.
Okay, well, it's a mystery game.
Yeah.
You get to sweat with the Point Park team, really decide who is who. Those name tags, hopefully we'll get them on for you.
No player shout-outs this game. Just complete guesses.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
There's no 4, but...
it's back. It's back. Okay.
We got it back?
We got it back.
Well, we got the corner. We don't have the
not
names.
the name tags, no.
It's okay.
Look at that. We don't even have the numbers at this point. We just have cars.
Hey, and for Point Park, they have more than that. They almost have a goal.
They almost had a goal.
But unfortunately not. Very, very close opportunities, and you're just going to have to follow along with the car callers. I know it's going to be tough, but Point Park Green, they know tough.
Yeah,
they've just lost 2 games after being up 2. They may or may not find one for themselves here. No, a big touch from your Turtles there with a save. And now sticking with this ball, it is going to be Point Park pushing it downfield yet again, out to the passing lane. Here's a shot. Nighthawk on flying by. Does not make the shot there. Yuri still with this one, at least having control and possession of the ball. Hold up a little bit of a touch from Northwest Missouri, and your Turtles trying to be that thorn in the side of Point Park. We'll see them constantly go under pressure and then balance it on out with pressure of their own. And now they're looking for the shot. Can't quite find the Jimmy Bojangles to get by the next player.
Yeah, not quite. I mean, hopefully whoever makes this next shot is whoever we're focused on. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, Nighthawk over, and the shot comes through a little bit off target. If you do see that one go towards the top left, you think that's probably a goal. But unfortunately not. Still just 2 minutes remaining. Neither team fully ahead yet, but Northwest Missouri surely feeling better than Point Park, having the momentum in their favor. Nighthawk trying to round about this one, a big clear, but I believe that is Yuri sticking with it over in that. I'm just following with the car designs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know who that? You have really good vision. I don't know who's who.
So a little bit of Rocket League knowledge for you. I believe Yuri is in the Fennec. I could be completely wrong, and it may be Collins. But they're different cars, and they each have different hitboxes, which change how they interact with the ball. Oh boy, maybe you wanted a really tall car there so you could make that save, but
yeah.
Looks like they're escaping for now. Collins is on the Fennec, my apologies. So Collins on the Fennec here, and then you have Yuri on that Octane, and then Nighthawk on the very bright blue Octane. There you go, flying towards the ceiling. So that's at least one way to follow along in this game. Solid chances from Point Park. Hold up, long clear. This one goes right back the other way, but Yuri makes the save.
Oh, and it's going straight to North.
Oh.
Okay, that was
Depth perception.
yeah. I mean, it kind of looked blue from far off.
It looked like they popped it up or popped it backwards, and you really couldn't
Yeah.
tell which one without that nameplate. But either way, Point Park still holding on to this momentum and now taking it for their advantage.
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk to strike first here and potentially last.
Ooh. Yeah, with a minute 37 left. Wow. I mean, game said it. I said it. Wow.
May just be the nail in the coffin, but I have to say that nail is quite loose. That is
Yeah.
not the most secure coffin I've seen in a while. 1-0, not the biggest of leads.
Yeah, I wouldn't bury anybody in that coffin personally.
Yeah, you never know if they turn into a zombie.
Yeah, it might come up. It's rough.
I mean, we thought Northwest Missouri was dead, but they've surely come back to life here, bringing us 2 games and maybe completing the full transformation here of that reverse sweep, that zombification to take the win here. Point Park, though, still feeling ahead. There is offensive pressure going back the other way. Hold up, the save is made by Nighthawk. Just barely in the corner, pinches it on away. Very scary, but only 1 minute left. So as much as Northwest Missouri can come close, they do have to at least put something on the board to show for it.
Yeah, regardless of what way this goes, this is going to be a tough match for both teams. It kind of felt like that awkward glitch sort of threw everybody off their game for just a few minutes.
Even though they
And-
can't see it.
They can't. Oh, they can't see
The
it.
players can not. The players see different than what we're
Oh,
seeing.
really?
So they at least have their teammates' names. They all know what's going on.
Well, maybe it just threw me off my game. Well, regardless, it felt like somebody's game was thrown off, and they have. Oof.
Probably both teams.
Yeah. Look at that.
They've both conceded a goal now. So now you kind of go into this final 20 seconds thinking, I don't really know what to do anymore. I just scored a goal for my team, and now we just let in a goal. I'm just going to hope that it goes in our favor, because that's what it feels like at this point. As much as you want to say you can control this game, it does feel a little bit like that luck base. For Northwest Missouri, I mean, this would be a massive shot in it. Oh my gosh, is it? Yes, it is!
Oh,
Turtles!
that was painful.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh,
painful.
sinks this one into the water.
Yikes. It was. I mean, everyone was going for it.
Oh, it's an own goal too.
Oh, no. Everyone was going for it, and we didn't quite go for it the right direction.
Ooh, I'm in pain. So are the players, but they
Yes,
can't let it
yes.
affect them, at least for that final 5 seconds
I
here.
don't think they're going to get this last.
They may.
No.
It's still doable. They can keep it up over towards the left wall. Here's the first touch. Out to a teammate. No.
Nope.
It falls on down. Northwest Missouri. They complete the reverse sweep and take down Point Park Green. It's an unfortunate loss.
Yes.
But welcome to Rocket League. It sucks. You can see the players' emotions, and it's okay to get to them. But that's just how we grow, how we practice, how we move on into the next series.
Yeah,
we're sure
look
they
at
can bounce
that.
back.
We were talking about vibes with our team. We are going around giving fist bumps, really just bringing each other up. That was an unfortunate and tough loss, but they played hard.
Ironically, I believe that's exactly how Point Park Gold Series went last week. I'm not sure if that was a reverse sweep that happened or if it was, blow for blow, game for game. But either way, getting a little taste of our own medicine here, ironically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to suck. But if anything, we know how to bounce back, right? Point Park Gold, they
Yeah.
just 3-0 swept. So if anything, we can have the same kind of words of wisdom to apply into that situation. And hopefully they do find the W there in next week.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't become a trend where one team wins, the other one loses, because that would be pretty unfortunate.
How would that work for the League of Legends and Valorant team?
Well, not with the other two.
Well, I mean, would one win and then the other lose there?
That's what it seemed like last week. I mean, I believe League lost last week, and Valorant might have won. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're switching. Gold and green switching. Val and League switching.
Maybe. Never know. But we are going to finish off the stream today. That's going to be it. If you want to figure out who does end up winning, make sure to follow us on those socials at Point Park Esports on Twitch and then PPU Esports on Instagram and all those good other things.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a fun day, but unfortunately it has to come to an end. My name is Aricast here with Amiibo. It's been a great time. Thank you, the viewer, for watching, and we will see you all next time. We'll see you then.